Yes. We will be ready.
Now I'm ready. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight's William Penn School District Education Committee meeting. Like as always, I always start us off with a quote. And the quote that I have for you today is actually a quote of my own, and it's let your passion be your vehicle to your success. So, whatever you're most passionate with or for, or things you want to do, just let that be your vehicle to see you succeed through. With that being said, leading on to our agenda for tonight. Tonight we will have personnel appointments, and led by Katie Schlesinger. And then from there we will have our education technology, Khalid Ayubov from DCIU. He's the Director of Informational Technology. He'll be speaking. Also, we'll be talking about our personal learning community, which will be led by Mary Agnew, who is the Executive Director of Blended Learning and Educational Technology. And then from there, we'll go into our discussions. So at this time, I will turn the meeting over to Dr. B. Coots.
Ms. Boykin, salute to the flag, please.
It's a yes. So for this meeting, we have removed the salute to the flag. So that is not incorporated in our agenda. We can discuss this and talk about it offline, but for this agenda has not been incorporated.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
It's on our agenda, just so you know.
So why doesn't she have that?
So it was removed. So the agenda that I have, it doesn't have it on there. Maybe it was added back. So my apologies if we do have that on there. I may have opened the incorrect agenda where it was missing. On mine, it's missing. But we will go to the flag. Thank you, Jen.
And after the salute to the flag, Ms. Boykins, we have roll call, and then we'll go to the personnel appointment.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Not that I am the board secretary, but I'm going to serve as the board secretary right now and handle roll call. Ms. Hoff?
Present.
Ms. Hopkins?
Present.
Ms. Boykins?
Present.
Ms. Cook-Henry?
Present.
Ms. Richardson?
Present.
Mr. Wright? Mr. Callahan? Mr. Tong? Ms. Ivory? All right. Ms. Boykins, we do have a quorum with the members who are present.
Thank you. We can proceed with the personnel appointment.
All right, thank you. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Fantastic. I'm going to walk us through our personnel appointment for this evening. So we have one administrative staff member, Ryan Farrell, for the Manager of Special Education Services and Compliance. You can see the details of his location, salary, and start date on the agenda. He will be joining us on January 3rd, replacing Jen Marvel. So our motion is to approve the appointment as indicated above, with the salary prorated by start date, contingent on receipt of appropriate clearances and physicals as required by law.
So we would have to vote on the motion. I mean, well, that would be the motion that we'll be voting on. Did I ever hear you?
Call the vote, Ms. Boykins, please.
Say it again.
You have to call the vote.
Yes, I said the motion is to approve the appointment as indicated above, with the salary prorated by start date, contingent on receipt of appropriate clearances and physical as required by law. So I'll make a motion.
All right. Who can move?
I move that we accept the I move that we accept the appointment.
Second.
So moved.
Ms. Boykins, all those in favor?
Aye. All those
No,
in favor? All those in favor? Could you say aye? Sorry, it's hard to hear. Thank you.
Aye.
I only heard one aye. I don't know if you heard more aye.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard it, but I'm raising my hand too.
Thank you. So moved.
Anyone against, Ms. Boykins?
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Anyone against? There's none against. There we go. So moved.
All right. Thank you very much, board members. We're going to move forward with our next item on the agenda. I am going to ask that we address any questions that we may have, because our Director of Information Technology from Delaware County, he is joining us, and I just want to thank him for being a part of this meeting. As most members know, we did request or had an audit for our Information Technology Department. And this is an update on where we are and what we have been able to accomplish thus far. I'm getting ready to share my screen, and Khalid, if you would, just let me know when you want me to advance the slides and I will do that. Does that work for you, sir?
Sure, yes.
All right, hold on one second.
Kind of cut off a little bit. There you go, this is better.
Hold on one second. Expand this. Just give me 1 second, trying to put this in presentation mode.
Take your time, please.
I don't know how you gonna have this up. All right, we can proceed.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Because good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for the opportunity to meet with you face-to-face and provide you an update on all of the IT initiatives that have been taking place since the completion of audit. Time flies. It's been, I would say, what, 5 months almost since we started working on rebuilding the IT department and rebuilding infrastructure and processes within your district. And the purpose of this presentation is to explain where we were, what took place so far, and what's coming next. So on the next slide, I took the recommendations from the audit and I included this in the slide so that you can refresh your memory and get a better understanding of what was discovered during audit. You know, we looked at many different things within your district, from systems to processes, decision-making, budgeting. All those elements have been analyzed as part of audit and became part of recommendation list that pretty much includes what needs to be improved and changed within the district. On the next slide, you will, as you can recollect, I included that in our audit presentation. This is an IT maturity model, and kind of explains clearly each level of IT as it stands. And you were a bit somewhere between level 0 and level 1 based on our findings from the audit. You know, there was no documentation. Lots of things were handled as ad hoc. You know, no predictability and lack of service desk, et cetera, et cetera. So that's pretty much where we started, okay, about 5 months ago. On the next slide, you will see a list of completed projects so far that were initiated and completed in the last 5 months. One of the biggest pieces here is obviously IT staffing. We worked closely with the administration, and we hired 6 people, 1 network system administrator and 5 service desk personnel. We carefully evaluated every candidate, interviewed each of them to identify a fit, analyze the skills and background. And when I said, when I talk about fit, not just necessarily technical skills, but also, the personality. So currently 6 people are employed as contractors within the IT department. Subsequently, we also started working on building an IT service desk. This was a big initiative. It was a big change for the district. And we were able to complete this project and successfully. This entailed incorporating a service desk software, fresh service on the back end, creation of new processes, such as ability to create tickets via email, or ability to call the service desk and get a live person to help you with your IT problems. And a lot of communication to every area of the district about this new initiative. I'm going to talk a bit more about the tickets a little later in this presentation. So I'm going to move on to the next project. What we identify as part of audit is that district had 2 different email domain systems in place. One was WilliamPennSD.net, and one was the K-12 domain. So, and district personnel have been using both to log into Gmail and Office 365, so it was very convoluted, I would say. What we've done is we consolidated both on the K-12 domain, so that district personnel now has the ability to log into Gmail and Office 365 using the same email address. This applies to existing employees as well as all of the new personnel that you hire. We discovered during the audit that you completely lacked email archiving tool and hardware in your district. Your board policy requires, I believe, 3 years of retention of records, which includes email records, and lack of email archiving tool. Pretty much, you just couldn't achieve that. So we implemented email archiving tool, tested and provided training to Mary and some other team members on how to use it. All of the emails in the district sent and received are being saved in that archiving tool. Regardless whether the user deletes the email or does whatever with it, the copy of the email will always be saved safely in that tool. So in the event if you receive any kind of RTK request, right to know request, you can always refer to the archiver and extract information, provide accordingly. Your cybersecurity state was also pretty weak. There was an antivirus product used, Trend Micro, on your network that's not really the best on the market. It provides some level of protection, but doesn't protect this against stuff such as ransomware, which is a pretty popular topic nowadays. What we've done is we worked with administration and we purchased and implemented CrowdStrike, which is the next generation antivirus product that is used by, it's top of the line. It's used by many agencies within the federal government, many cities and state governments. It's a really good product that provides significant level of protection against ransomware and other modern cybersecurity threats. Another piece of weakness that was discovered during audit was lack of software update, lack of automation of software updates. All of you use computers and you have different types of software besides Windows operating systems, such as Adobe products, etc. That software needs to be updated with latest patches on an ongoing basis, because if you don't do that, you basically open your network to different vulnerabilities. So what we've done is we implemented a solution called Unite that automates those updates. It's completely transparent to users. Computers just absorb updates, install it in the background, and that solved the problem with updates automation. we worked closely with the administration and applied and got approved for more than $500,000 for the ECF. ECF is Education Emergency Connectivity Fund. It's an initiative coming from federal government to provide families with computers and internet access, those families who still don't have it. The process was, we basically surveyed your district. We sent communication to all families on record with the district. We obtained responses from the families, analyzed those responses, and identified, I want to say, close to 170 families needed internet access, and they will get it as part of this project. And significant number of families also indicated that they needed computers for their children to be able to study. So that's also going to be provided as part of this initiative. At this point, we did not get the funding yet. We are working closely with E-Rate consultant Deb Creedy, who is also an attorney. And she's guiding the process. She will be providing us some legal language for purchase order to purchase stuff as part of this project and move forward. So this, that pretty much concludes what was done so far. I want to kind of touch base on the IT service desk, because I think it's one of the biggest projects. As you can see, since the implementation of service desk, we received almost 2,800 tickets from your staff, which I think is a pretty significant number. On this slide, we broke it down by, closed tickets. First app pie chart provides a breakdown of closed tickets, pending, open, and resolved. The pie chart on the right is basically tickets by source, whether it was a phone call or emails, etc. And the bottom pie chart is tickets by priority, which basically reflects that there were 14 high tickets and 23 urgent tickets submitted to the service desk and resolved. This is pretty significant, and it's still a work in progress though. As the next step, what we're going to be doing is, now we have this massive amount of data, we're going to start breaking down and to understand what causes most of the tickets. Is there any kind of a similarity or common elements? For example, do most tickets relate to password resets? If yes, maybe we should incorporate some kind of tools to provide to employees for self-service purposes, right? Instead of relying on service desk, employees will be provided with a tool. And I'm just using that as an example. It not only will reduce number of tickets coming into the service desk, it will also help out employees accomplishing tasks faster. So that's where we are, and we're going to be providing you updates continuously on this as we progress. So this slide reflects upcoming projects. Some big projects are coming down the pipe. We're going to be replacing your existing servers, changing your server infrastructure. Your servers are pretty old, and that was identified as part of the audit. Your phone system requires replacement. It's also about to be out of warranty and out of support. HVAC servers need to be upgraded, will be taken care of. We have significant needs across the district for camera systems. Now, we all understand the importance of having proper security systems in our schools. We will be working with Mary on creation of a 10-year IT infrastructure plan, which will be pretty much a budget will be tied to it. This is a very important piece. This will give administration and the board complete information on all of the upcoming expenses for next 10 years. For example, Chromebooks, one-to-one initiative. How much money will the district need in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the road to keep the program alive, right? Server life expectancy is 5 years. So we're going to incorporate, if we replace servers, let's say in 2022, we're going to then start planning on replacing the same servers probably in 2027. So all that will be incorporated within the plan, and it will give you a complete picture. And another initiative that will be taking place is a process automation using FormStack or similar solution. at IU, we use FormStack pretty successfully, I would say, for a lot of different workflows. For example, if Jane Doe wants to order a computer, instead of reaching out to supervisor, obviously conversations with supervisors take place. Jane submits a hardware request form, which is posted online. The form then being routed to Jane's supervisor, who needs to approve it. If it's approved by supervisor, then it's being routed to service desk, and to me in particular, for quote and final approval. So that kind of automates the whole process. And we have all of documentation in place, quotes are attached, and it's nice and neat. So there's definitely a significant need for similar processes within your district. And obviously more information will be provided as we drill down on it. Next.
I think that was your, yep. That was your last slide. So if there are questions, we can definitely take those now, because I know that Khalid has some other items he needs to address after this portion of our agenda.
Not a question, just a request. As we get closer to ECF funds, just like how long will adult families get internet access for? Is it a 12-month, et cetera? What, just the details as we get closer to that process.
Yes, internet devices, and we quoted hotspots from Verizon. They will come with 1 year prepaid internet service. Okay. And then we're gonna look for more guidance from the federal government on renewables and stuff to see how the funding is gonna.
Great. Just when we get there, let us know.
Absolutely, we will definitely read direct communication with Dr. Beekos continuously on all of those initiatives, and yeah, no problem.
Khalid, is Joy. I have 3 questions. Can you go back to your pie chart?
Sure.
And while you're doing that, I wanted to know, what's the difference between resolved and closed? Would they not be one and the same?
Closed is basically when somebody calls the service desk and asks for password reset, we reset the password and we mark ticket as resolved. We keep it in resolved state for some time, and then we close it to make sure that there are no additional issues that come associated with the problem. So technically it's almost the same.
Technically it's almost the same. Okay.
Yes.
Your tickets generated, and it says email, phone, portal, walk-up. So, but you're saying that there is a ticket request so are we going to mainstream that to say that you can only generate a ticket via portal, or are you going to keep these email, phone, portal, walk-ups?
So we want to eliminate walk-ups. Obviously, we want to stick to email and phone. And portal, it's I need to figure out what exactly portal is, because we didn't set up submission of tickets via any kind of portal yet. So it could have been just a data that needs to be changed within tickets. So the 2 main methods is email and phone. That's what we're pushing for. Yes, I think it's good enough. If it's an urgent issue, employees should call. If it's not urgent, employees should email.
And have we addressed the tickets or requests that were placed before the new IT service desk have been implemented? Have all those been resolved or closed?
You mean the tickets prior to the implementation of service desk?
Absolutely.
I am not aware of any pending issues, and the service desk has been in place for, I'd say, a good 3 months already. So I don't expect anything to still be open. And we, in the background, we worked on different infrastructure deficiencies, like we resolved many of Wi-Fi issues. There was multiple causes that was causing sporadic Wi-Fi problems here and there. So all those issues that were identified as part of audit, as part of conversations with school leaders have been resolved. Yes.
Okay, and then this is not a question. This is a request. Is it possible? I love this pie chart. Is it possible that maybe we can also get a pie chart or a graph to say how many tickets are generated from from the different schools?
Yes, we can do that. The software provides many different reports. This is just really high level that I wanted to kind of show you that we already received so many tickets, but absolutely, yes.
Okay.
We can provide this data in a more meaningful way to you. I'll work with my team and Mary to get that done.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Sure.
Are there any other questions regarding the update on technology?
There are 2 questions in the Q&A. If someone could answer them, please.
So there's one question that says, what tickets are urgent?
So we classify tickets. When we receive tickets, we classify them as urgent or like level of urgency. Usually if it's whole school is affected or there's some kind of infrastructure problem, like let's say Wi-Fi is down or internet is down, that will be considered, that will be good example of urgency. If it's just a user-based issue, then it's just regular priority.
And then the next question is, what are the tickets that impede the presentation of learning? For example, waiting for parts to a projector.
Well, you probably saw some tickets that were in pending status. We place tickets in pending status if it's pending parts or pending user response. So we're just in a waiting game to see if the fix that was implemented actually fixed the problem. I hope that answers the question. Maybe I misunderstood.
Okay. Well, they said yes, thank you.
Very well.
All right.
Were there any more board members that had any more questions? All right, hearing none or seeing none. So Dr. B. Coates, we can move on with the next topic and then agenda.
All right, I will do that. And I believe it is the personalized learning community. Mary is not with us this evening, so I will be providing this update for everyone. What you'll see before you is the PLC enrollment for the first quarter. We were able to support 208 students, and you'll see the breakout by grade. We did have a transfer opportunity for families if they wanted to take advantage of the PLC for the second quarter, which actually begins today, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And our support to those students will be in the area of 290 students. And so we think it's important to help the board as well as our community understand that these are students who may have, for other reasons, gone to a cyber charter or other locations, but we are able to support them in our district with the offerings that we provide K through 12. You'll note that obviously there is a K-7 offering, which is very different than what we can do at the upper grades because these are smaller children who do require guidance from their guardians. And so that is something that we continue to stress to families that want to utilize the personalized learning community because it is a little different for younger students. We do provide resources for those students, such as workbooks. Most of the learning through this venue is provided asynchronously through Edgenuity teachers. However, we do have an elementary teacher within the PLC who does provide check-ins, meetings, as well as diagnostic testing for our students to make sure that there is an alignment between the PLC as well as what goes on within our brick and mortar buildings. You'll see here provided for you a sample of the 4th through 5th, a schedule for students in those grades. It is a sample schedule for K through 7. You'll note that there are breaks throughout the day because these are younger children and they are utilizing a computer most of the day. The next slide provides for you a sample K through 7 teacher schedule. And you can see that obviously there's homeroom. There's time for teachers to obviously meet for coaches, meet with their coaches. There's a prep and a break, tutoring that is provided, as well as office hours. So we just wanted to make sure that individuals were aware of the schedules. Now I'm going to transfer us to, or move us to rather, the 8th through 12 overview. Here you're looking at asynchronous offerings for ELA Science and Math. Typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with online learning with live online learning, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that's specifically done by William Penn School District teachers via Google Classroom. Obviously, we're still providing SEL lessons, and there is optional in-person online tutoring by these same teachers. Parents are continually informed of their students' progress, regardless of the grade, K through 7 or 8 through 12, as well as attendance through the parent portal. And it is our expectation that parents are accessing the parent portal and utilizing that as one means of communication with the PLC. And if needed, parent meetings are available as requested. The next sample schedule that we provide for you is a sample student schedule. If you're in grades 8 through 12, you can get a general idea of what a student's flow may be like throughout the day. And you'll see some of the offerings that we provide. So we wanted to make sure that we provided the board with these updates. And I believe the next schedule is the teacher schedule. And what it would look like for a particular teacher. And this is really at the upper grade. And you'll note that the time does, for the most part, mirror what our brick and mortar school would be doing, as well as far as the time span of the actual day. So we wanted to provide that information to the board to give you an update on the Blended Learning and Information Technology Department, where we are, and our process going forward. We will continue to have transfer processes available for families for the third quarter in the event that this is something that our families want to take advantage of. And we will address any questions that you may have at this point regarding that item. Ms. Coates?
When you get a chance, Dr. B. Coates, can we get a breakdown, and when you get a chance, no urgency, of where the PLC students came from, internal, charter, or other?
Yes.
Private. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And it's so exciting to see 190 young people in our programs. Thank you so much.
Yes, and I wanted to say, could you describe too again where the students are from? You started in the beginning, you explained it, but just for people in the audience that might not have heard exactly what our PLC is.
So it's the personalized learning community. This is our offering to the William Penn community for students to be educated, I would say, in an online and virtual setting. It is personalized because we do provide in-person support for students. And so this is something that's offered to every student who is currently enrolled in the William Penn School District. And it is also offered to anyone who lives in one of the 6 boroughs who is not enrolled in our district. You can come and be a part of our personalized learning community. And the benefit is that you are still able to access the co-curricular activities that are at your home school. So sports, arts, etc., as well as music and band.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
Yeah, yes, thank you for that, because it's just such an awesome thing, as Jen had also stated. It's just, you don't find that everywhere. So it's just something, that we can add on, that we've added on to our district. Thank you. Does any other Board of Directors have a comment or a question or anything from the public at this time? Oh, we do have a public comment. Anything from the board first before I go to the public? Okay.
And I'm answering the question regarding attendance actually in the Q&A.
Okay.
and it's just when is attendance taking. And the next question speaks to when is it too late for a student? When is it too late for a student to be considered as absent? And I will have to follow up on that. But I do know that we take attendance daily, and it is actually entered into the e-school system.
Okay. And they're given, the students are, you know, just given like normal report cards, just like weekly updates and things like that with regard to the parents and stuff like that, as you were discussing before. There's no real big difference with regard to delivery of results as far as a report card and things of that nature.
That is correct. So report card conferences are being held on the 23rd and 24th. That will still be the case for students if you're in the personalized learning community.
Okay.
And last 24th of this month. I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. And last question I have is, when do you project that we could be able to see results from this, and like what KPIs are we looking at to see if this is working and this is something that we should continue for longevity?
All right. So some of the things that we will look at obviously are the grades. When we conduct our survey for students and families, we will include the information about the PLC, and we will most likely do a comparison of the students who are enrolled in the PLC in comparison to the students who are in the brick and mortar, and to see how those differences or similarities play out in terms of the survey questions that are being asked.
Gotcha.
And the other piece I would say to you is also satisfaction. That is another part of the survey.
Thank you. All right, with that being said, I don't have any more questions. Do anyone else from the board have any questions?
There's a question in chat.
Okay.
School districts set up booster shots. There is actually a notification that went out today to all schools. It should be on our website, the actual flyer with the link to register. And we are having a opportunity on November the 18th. That will be the first opportunity. And then there is, if you need a second shot, you can get it on December the 9th. That will happen at Clark Elementary from 2 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. We are partnering with CHOP, the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. They are able to do first shot, second shot, and boosters. So I'm going to encourage you and all of our families to please register for that information. Every school has the flyer in the link, and I believe, Josh, if you could confirm for me that that is on our website, is that correct? I'm being told it will be on the website tomorrow.
Awesome, awesome. I don't think I see any more questions.
I do not, Ms. Bookin.
Okay. With that being said, this meeting can be concluded and we can adjourn. Can I get a second on the motion to adjourn? I mean, a first on the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. Everyone have a great evening.
All those in favor say aye.
Oh, sorry. Yes, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those who say nay. Any nays? No? Okay. Everyone have a great night. I'll do it, Jen.
Everyone.